Love that.
Yeah, just having a little freestyle moment. While you're okay, okay. Now for the non-Spanish speakers, what did grandma just say? In English, grandma walked in, she rubs my shoulder while I'm sleeping. She wakes me up. She says, Eric, I'm sorry to say this, but your mom failed the drug test, so she's in jail. Oh, and by the way, the rent is due in 3 days, and we're short $400. What are we gonna do? I said, we,
Oh
what
my
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to sleep. I went back to sleep, and I woke up, and nothing changed. I still had the memory of my grandma walking in and telling me XYZ. This was not a dream. This was very much real life. I walked over to my stuff that I had gathered like in my notebooks and folders, everything related to college. Laid it all out in front of me. And I'm like, damn, it would be very easy. It'd be so easy to hit up a friend and just live with them on the couch. Hit up a friend that probably has a guest room. Hit up somebody and be like, hey, maybe if I stay with you for 2 or 3 months and get a job, I can pay you rent. I could figure something out and it'd be a lot easier. But who would take care of my siblings and my grandmother? Now, I could choose myself. I could go pursue dance 100%. It'd be a lot easier to take care of me. Or I could stay and take care of Hector, who still has to finish high school. And then my two babies, Ruby and Nathan, my siblings who've been there through everything. And my grandmother, who's been holding it down, cooking and stuff. She's disabled, so she isn't able to work. Knowing that, that my siblings' dad is in jail, that I don't have any other aunts that have the capacity to take care of us. I thought to myself and remembered all the times my mother picked that man, moving like just being in a relationship with him despite the abuse, moving across the state with him despite us not wanting to, coming back even though we didn't want to, staying with him the whole time we were here. I thought about how my mother picked that man instead of her family, and I thought, how cool would it be to pick my family first, the way that I always needed? Like, man, this is gonna hurt a lot. It's gonna suck. It would suck and it would hurt a lot more to not do it. I grab everything, put it all in one box, put that box up way in the back end of the closet, and I went to Miami Springs, the neighborhood, the city, every small business, every big business knocking. Are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? I have zero experience, but I'm in a situation where I have to take care of my siblings and my grandmother. I promise you, you will not find anybody that works harder than me. You will not find anybody that's hungrier than me. Everybody told me Starbucks, pizza restaurants, Asian restaurants. Oh, we love your energy. Super great. Can you come back in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. I need to make $400 in 3 days. Absolutely not. I cannot come back in 2 weeks. And then one of my youth pastors from church, because I was attending a youth program every Sunday at the time called Quest. Awesome, awesome. Quest was right underneath Catalyst Hip Hop. I didn't
Oh
know
my
that.
God,
I
no
would just hear
way.
music upstairs the whole time. Like, what's that music? And I never ever bothered to go up there. Um,
Wow.
yes. Also, funny random backstory. When I was in Miami Springs High School, one time these B-boys came and like these break dancers came and they like stole the show at a pep rally. And the break dancer that was there that did that was Zeku. I didn't even know who he was at the time.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
that's crazy.
yeah, really crazy work.
Um,
So I was attending that church every Sunday while I was going to this. I was going to this youth group thing. I graduated high school. I now went from being a youth in the program to an adult in the program, mentoring people. And one of my mentors had caught word of what was going on. I asked my church for prayer for what was going on. One of my mentors called me over for lunch, and he's like, "Eric, let's have lunch. I hear you that you're looking for work out here." I said, "I can't sit down for lunch. I need to find a job." He's like, "Eric, chill out. Come hang out with me." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Instead of buying me food, can you give me money? I need it." Like straight up. He's like, "Eric, calm down. Don't think about that right now. I want you to enjoy a meal. Like, let's just be with each other." I enjoyed a meal with him. I relaxed. I shared with him every detail of what had happened, even more than what I shared with you. And after he heard everything and how I got to that point there, he looked me in my eyes and said, "I need you to do me a favor." I said, "Sure." He said, "I need you to make me a promise before I tell you what the promise is." I said, "All right, what is it?" Extend my hand forward. He extends his hand. He goes, "Promise me you won't pay me back." And he brings out an envelope, $400. And ah, man, never forget him. His name is Marcel. That he works in the Everglades. He be wrestling alligators and stuff. He be going on airboats. That is a crazy man. He's so awesome. He's one of my angels. If it wasn't for him, that would have been I would not be here right now. Yeah, man. But yeah, that was definitely God working through him. And when he gave me the money, I now had um, the rent. And that was the first time I paid rent for that household. And from 17 to 23 years old, I was the main breadwinner. I was the one that took care of my siblings and my grandmother. And after a few months of after failing that drug test, it was literally 3 months of that, just holding it down. My mother came out, and of course, she failed the drug test. She was struggling with drug addiction. Um, and when she got out, I was very upset at her because we already went through a lot. How could you jeopardize us by doing a drug that would take you away from us? I was upset. Then, political differences aside, Trump was in office. And when you have a criminal record with Trump's new political party for the first time in his first term, if you had a criminal record, you are eligible to be deported. So ICE took her. After 3 months of not having her, she was here for a while, and then ICE took her. She was gone again. Now I went from being mad at her, and now I'm really sad that she might not just be gone or in jail. They might deport her to the country she hasn't been to since she was like 7 years old, 5 years old. And so I'm like, this sucks. And I just the I just kept having to, hold it down and pay the bills, or it was my choice to. Um, and she eventually got out again, which is dope. She didn't get deported. Um, but there was this trend and this pattern happening of she'll fail a drug test, or I will pick her up, or she'll get out and then she'll fail a drug test. It's just this cycle of, oh, she's not helping. She's not helping. She's not getting a job. She's like getting drugs straight up and getting a boyfriend, but not getting her life together. And I'm holding it down the whole time. I'm still dancing. I'm still practicing. In a matter of fact, at 17, you can ask my friend Blue. I've known Blue since middle school. We ended up hanging out together, dancing together. She introduced me to the freestyle community. She is the reason why I met my first few friends that would eventually become my first dance crew. Blue introduced me to Happy Feet, Snaps, Beast at the time, his name. Now his name is Cicada, and Cub. And we would hang out at my house in my living room, or we would go to the park and dance. And then when the church that Marcel came from, the guy who gave me the money, um, that same church gifted me a car. They gave me a blue Dodge Neon, which really helped me a lot. I would, in addition to, oh, I haven't told you the job. The job that I had, I was working construction. I was working installing brick,
Oh my God.
$90 a day. I would wake up at 3 in the morning, so that I could wake up before my grandmother.
Mm.
I would cry for about an hour, crying at how awful I hated my life. I did that every day. I would cry, wake up 3 a.m. just to cry because my grandma would wake up at 4 a.m. She thinks I'd wake up at 5 so she could make me breakfast, make me lunch to prepare for. I'd wake up, I have my little cry, I'd take a little nap so while she woke up and prepare food. And then by 5 in the morning, I'm in the work van out. Just it was under the table, just construction, $90 a day,
So
installing brick with
you
my bare hand.
so you dropped out of high school at this
No,
point?
I had finished high school at 17 years old.
Okay, okay.
After high school,
Sorry.
after my friend gave me the money, literally that weekend, I started working in construction. And they had me working Monday through Saturday, $90 a day, working from 6 in the morning to 3 or even 5 p.m. in
Mm,
the heat, in the rain, in the cold, and on holidays, everything. And I did it.
mm,
And every dollar I made was for the rent, was for groceries, was for the kids' clothes. And every dollar I had extra was so that my brother Hector could have the high school experience I didn't get to have. I didn't get to go to senior luncheon. I didn't get to the ultimate senior field trip. I didn't get to have the nicest suit. I didn't get to take my girlfriend on dates. I made sure that my brother did not have to experience that.
mm,
Every spare dollar I had, oh man, I'd really like to buy this video game, man. But you know what? Here, go take a girl on a date. Here, stay in band. Here, go do this, go do that. And I was able to shield my brother from the poverty that our family was facing. And after working there for like, that year, while I was doing that and I was doing that construction stuff, I had still met Blue and met these dancers in the community, and they gifted me the church I was with gifted me a car. I'd pick everyone up. Key Biscayne, Kendall, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. I would pick up all my crew members because we started a dance crew together called Outcasted Siblings. We were like, well, we're all a bunch of outcasts, but we're a family. So what can we name ourselves? And we are like, well, we're a family of outcasts. Let's just call ourselves the Outcasted Siblings. And so we were OCS. It was really, really, really fun. And yeah, I would pick everybody up no matter where they live. I would never ask for gas money. Drive us all to Wynwood with my speaker, put it down, and we would dance for hours, just freestyling in Wynwood, not for money. We would just put a speaker down and just love practicing in front of people. And we would go to Wynwood Walls and we would dance there and get crowds and crowds of people until we'd get kicked out at 17, 18 years old. And my peers, Happy Feet and them, they were even younger than me. So I'm 17, 18. They're like 16, 15, and we're out street performing. And then at the end of a night like that, I go buy us all my chickens or something, and then I drop everybody off home. Never ask for a dollar in gas or food, nothing. That was my crew. And we was like that was like another version of Garden of Eden. That was like one of my favorite journeys as a dancer was that. It was really, really cool. Um, After holding it down for the family for a long time, when I turned 23, and this pattern of the adults in my life not getting their stuff together and me holding it down, I'm like, I came to the realization that as much as I love my mother and want her to take care of us, it's very difficult for anybody to have a good job that pays more than minimum wage while you have a criminal record. So I knew that if I kept on supporting them from there, I would stay broke. I would stay not being able to care for myself. I was caring for them, but I wasn't being cared for. I had no savings. If it wasn't for the car donated to me, I wouldn't have a car. I didn't have a career I was working to. I didn't think about entrepreneurism. I was just in survival. There was no going back to college or any of that. I'm just in survival. And I had decided then, well, if my mother she physically isn't going to be able to get a job with a criminal record, then it's got to be me. It's got to be me that takes care of things. The only way I'm going to save my family and myself is through success. And I can't do that with my hands tied behind my back. And it wasn't like I was being praised the whole time. No, the aunts, my grandma, my mother, as loving as they have been and they have raised me, they were very toxic the whole way. Although I was the one that was the made breadwinner as a child, it was still, well, you're not doing enough. You still ain't nothing, just like your dad, who's not present. Like you're a piece of garbage. Like I don't care if you get hit by a car tomorrow. Like it was really bad. It was a lot of projecting trauma. And at the time I couldn't interpret that. My family also dealt with alcoholism
Mm.
and other drugs. So if it wasn't that they were on hard drugs, they were alcoholics. And when the drunk version of them, they have broken my heart in ways more than any girl ever could with the things that they've said. And so after 6 years of just tolerating that, if I was being praised the whole way, like, oh, you really are, I mean, Nieto, my son, like, thank you, like you're doing like no. It's like you think you're doing enough, you're doing the bare minimum, and you still ain't nothing, just like your dad. I'm just like,
Oh no.
wow, that's a lot coming from me that's literally gave up my dream so I can be here for y'all. And so I did that for like 6 years, and at 2023, I was like, man, I'm out of here.
Mm.
No plan, no money saved up, no car, no place to move into. I grabbed my things. My friend was letting me borrow their car, and I
Mm.
moved my stuff in her car. And I'm like, hey, look, I know I'm just using your car, but sorry, I just moved out of my house.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, I ended up couch surfing and stuff like that with some other friends.
Mm.
And I didn't talk to my family for years.
Mm.
I didn't speak to them for years. You guys are not gonna have access to me if you can't treasure me, treat me right. And um, I ended up coming back, experiencing the same thing of them mistreating me, leaving. So I didn't speak to them when I was 23. I left, didn't speak to them for a year, showed up. Same thing. So I left, didn't speak to them for a year, showed up. Same thing. Third time's a charm. I give chances. Too many apparently. Third time I was like, this is it. I'm out of here. I left. I moved in with one of my friends at couch surf in West Palm Beach.
Mm.
And while I was there, it was harder for me to find the motivation to get up a job and take care of Erik because it was new for me.
Yeah.
If I don't get up and work to take care of my siblings, they're not gonna eat. All right. That puts a fire under your butt. I'm like, ah, I'm pretty cool. I'm not, I don't stress myself out like that. So the pressure to get myself a job was not as hard as with my siblings. And so it took me a long time to realize that I deserve to be treated like the people that I care for. I deserve to pour into myself that way.
Mm.
And so I was all by myself without the help of my family. And if it wasn't for one of my friends, Carlos, aka Bling, I would have been homeless. It was him that gave me a place to lay. He'd give me food, and he was patient with me while I was both healing and going through days of like crying and being deeply depressed from, my new ego death, my new version of me of not being with my family anymore. As a family-oriented man, that was terrible to experience. And then I ended up finding my tribe, having a partner. I ended up having a nice job as a chef. This is all now last year in November. November, October, November. In October, I finally got a job. I had been unemployed for a long time. Um, and like I said, my friend Carlos was very patient with me. After I had my job, I ended up renting my own room and I had a balcony. I had my own private bathroom, washer and dryer, all for just $700 a month. And this economy, I was doing great. I was doing great. And then New Year's Eve that just passed, this last New Year's Eve, for the first time in my life, someone in the family had passed away, had died. Um, like even now, my great grandma, she still walks, she still cooks, she still cleans. Like she's kicking it. We have some strong genes. So if something happens, it's because something happened. And one of my cousins, um, who had asked me to move in with me. So while I was taking care of my family, I had actually taken care of a number of people in the dance community, part of my friends as well, and my own personal life, even my mom's friends. There was people that were homeless, going through tough times that I have housed while going through all that in the dance community. I've helped them that we know, and just for their privacy, I won't share them. But you've shaken hands with those people that I've helped, and that was in the midst of my storm. So it was very humbling to be able to be in a position to provide for people. Um, But yeah, when my cousin had passed away, my cousin Emily, she had died from a motorcycle accident. It was an immediate collision, and she died on impact. That cousin had asked me years ago if she could move in with me, right before I left my family. And when she passed, it was hard to grieve, not just her. I really didn't hang out with her or talk to her or see her. I didn't spend much time with her other than when we were kids. I didn't know her, straight up. And it was very odd for me to experience this level of grief. A part of me felt like was gone because now I don't even have the chance to get to know her, to argue with her, to learn about her. Maybe I'll like her, maybe I'll dislike her. I don't know. I'll never get to know because I never, she's in another place now. And that was what my mind was doing. And with the grief that I was experiencing, that was like when I get sad, I can't breathe indoors. I have to go outside to cry. Or otherwise I'll feel a constriction in my throat and my lungs. It's very interesting for me to be so overwhelmed that only nature can heal you. And that's what was happening to me. I did breath work, I did meditation, to get through that initial grief that I was feeling the moment I got the news. And then it just clicked to me. My family has been without me for years at this point. What about the grief they're facing? And they were next to her. They were with her. They had her in their life. My heart is this broken and I was gone. What about my aunt who took care of me, and had housed me for a second? Yeah, she almost kicked me out again and such, but this is someone that died we're talking about. You know what I mean? And so the depth of the pain from the grief made me literally quit my job, leave the place that I had, and leave all the stability I had finally created. I finally, for the first time, and I had in my life my own room. It was in November and December. And the last time I was in my room to enjoy it was that New Year's Eve. That was the last time I was there. After that, I'm like, I gave up the stability I had so I could be with my family again. I knew that I couldn't go to work and smile. I knew that I was a chef at the time. I knew I couldn't handle working a knife without trembling and worrying about my family. And so I came back to be with them. And when I came back to be with them, um, mind you, I mentioned that I had helped people in my family as well. Like the aunt that ended up taking care of me, um, when I was a kid, and she ended up kicking me out, her and her husband, my uncle at the time. At 23, I took her in, her daughter, her daughter's boyfriend, and their dog. I took them all in. And so when I moved down here, and down here is here in Hialeah, um, I moved here behind my aunt's house, the one that I took care of, even after she was going to kick us out and send us to an orphanage. After the fact is when I took care of her. And so when I came back here, I thought that I'd be able to talk to her and be able to couch surf with her and figure things out the way that my friends have, the way that I've helped her. She's like, oh, I definitely let you couch surf and all that once you can pay rent. I'm like, well, I actually don't have a job right now. She's like, well, when you get a job in XYZ, then we can start charging you $500 to couch surf. From $500, $700 to just have my own place, my own room, private this, that, and the other. Wait, I helped you. I didn't just help you. I helped you for free for years, and your daughter and her boyfriend and y'all dogs. I didn't charge y'all rent because y'all are family. Because yeah, well, I don't see why you're bringing that up. It's just what family does. You guys should do that out of the kindness of your hearts. It's just family. I'm like, why aren't you helping me then out of the kindness of your heart? Because, oh, because you're a man. Okay, cool. It is what it was. And so now I live with a different aunt that lives right behind that aunt. And the aunt that has a two-bedroom, two living room, dining room isn't willing to help me. But my other aunt, who has a studio room and has like six of us total living in a studio apartment, she's willing to help me. And so that's why I'm outside. I'm technically homeless right now. I don't have my own place. I don't have my own space. And I have been in this situation since I got here January 1st. It's been just me trying to hold things down and pour love into the household because there's still a lot of toxic things happening, and I'm still unlearning that I don't have to take care of everything and everyone. Um, and now after 10 months of pouring into my family without them even asking me to, although I'm pouring into them and thinking that's noble, true nobility and true honor includes saving yourself as well, includes honoring yourself as well. No sacrifice without self-preservation is not noble. It's not. And I've had to learn that the hard way. And I did it in my 10 months so far here. And from applying to jobs to having side gigs here and there to friends helping me pay my phone bill and stuff like that and helping me get transportation. This whole time, still dancing. All the battles you see me going to, all the sessions I go to, this is in the midst of all of this. In the midst, in the background, I have always, always practiced, showed up to sessions, taken classes, shown up to battles, always been doing all those things. And yeah, now after being plateaued for a long time, I realized that I have a dream I want to bring to life, and I'm sure we'll get to that as well. But I knew that in order for my dreams to come to fruition, if I want my dream to be something, I have to be someone. And right now in dance, as much as I love dance and as cool as I can give myself flowers, I don't have any accolades or really made much community impact. And so I know if I want people to believe in my dream, I need to be someone worthy and notable in the community. And so I joined the Crump fam. I joined the Crump movement just to try something, just to have fun, just to give myself something to do. And oh my God, the love that I received from Crump, the tribe that I found, the community that I found within Crump, Crump is probably the most close-knit community compared to every other style. Other styles have community, but Crump is community. Like it's incredible. It's so beautiful. Um, I'm really happy and grateful to people like Intense and Rain, which are people that I've met back when I was 17. I used to lab with them and practice with them. When I told you I met people from all parts to go practice, they're now teaching me Crump for free. They're now showing me the ropes for free. And with someone that's gone through what I've gone through, like I haven't even been able to make it past prelims at battles and stuff. I'm going against people that take privates, that go out of town, that go out of state, that take the master classes. Hard to afford any of those things when you're in survival mode. And so it's really cool to be a part of a tribe, a part of a community that welcomes you, even though you don't have money to invest into it. As long as you have the effort, the hard work, and the love for it, they will invest that into you. And that's been really, really awesome. I finally have a job now. I've been unemployed for a while, but part of that has just been my choice. I believe that your yes has no value until you learn to say no. That is a quote from Paul Chek, one of my favorite holistic doctors in the world. And so, yeah, if I say yes to whatever job, it's gonna lose its value. I've had to say no to the McDonald's and the Burger Kings and the Wendy's and the Subway jobs so that I can get a yes for the Miami Heat, which is where I'm working at now at the Miami Heat Stadium. And there's just so much more. Like, what ladder are you gonna climb flipping burgers at a McDonald's versus the ladder that you could climb at one of the most prominent arenas in the world, straight up? That's very exciting for me. And so now I'm just working, period, saving up money so that I can become more financially stable, developing my skill set, and I'm bringing side hustles, my future dream. I do have a new dream now that is very defined, and working towards building that stability, working towards bringing my dream elemental to life and becoming someone worthy of being followed in the dance community. That is where I'm at right now and how we got here.
Eric, you've been worth it.
Thank you.
And honestly, like just like your passion and your love, I'm gonna ask you this even though it's a very, very obvious question, but I want you to like to share it too. Like the big role that dance and music has played in your healing and your growth, because I mean it has not only helped you, stay away and keep your distance from those like negative things that could cause so much damage, like a greater damage, but I feel like it has also been a huge part of like your evolution internally and like, ha something that has helped like your point of view. I would love for you to share, if you don't mind, like how
Of
music changed
course.
you.
Easy, of course. I love that question. You have great questions. Oh my God. Okay. So even as a kid, I've always danced, but never a professional. But I would and as an example of how far deep dance has been in my life. I don't know if you were a part of this movement as well, but there was this time when Daft Punk still existed. They had this challenge going on YouTube. They did to the song Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger. They go work it, make it, do it, makes us. And these people would come on to like these people would walk on the screen and they do this challenge to people and they would have words on their body and
Mm,
it'd be work it, make it, like harder,
mhm.
stronger. And whenever the Daft Punk song would play, you could search it up on YouTube. It's probably still up right now.
Yeah.
You could search it up and they'd be like, work it, make it, do it, makes us. And me and my brother Hector, 5 years old, 4 years old, we would put, Mom, look at us, look, family, come, everybody go to the living room. Look, we want to show you something. And we'd press play. And from how much we would obsess over these people,
Mm.
we would stand with our backs to the screen and we copy them. And so I've always had this fun. I've always found dance fun. I've always had this affinity and curiosity towards it. And then, of course, I had my big turning point when I had a crush on that one girl in eighth grade that ended up liking someone else. That
Yeah.
was when I'm like, okay, now I really want to practice. The best way I can describe my passion or anything really is through metaphor because I am a poet at heart.
Mm.
If everything that I've shared with you, all the hardship I went through was like a hurricane, a storm, an earthquake, all the natural disasters you could think of. These things can break a lot. They can break your character, they can destroy your hope, they can destroy your faith in God, they can destroy your belief systems. And I have gone through many of those things. Like the pains that I've experienced have shifted and changed me. I've had to let go of a lot in order to heal. I've had to let go of a lot of precious parts of me, a lot of kind, sweet, curious, excited, loving parts of me just to survive, just to be. And in the garden of who I am that has weathered many storms, there is this one flower, this one plant that no matter how destroyed everything has been, no matter what poison has entered my garden, no matter what happens, there is this one plant that continues to bloom and flourish, and that has always been dance. Dance, like a plant, has always been what helps me breathe easier, was always been what has provided the the sustenance for me to exist in coexistence with all the bad that was happening, with all the negative that was happening. The deeper the violence and pain, the more I shut it out and dove into dance. It wasn't that I was just shutting the negative out, it's that I was escaping through dance. Dance was literally my escape. Dance literally saved my life. When I'm crying because there's an argument happening in the house, because there's things happening in the house that shouldn't be happening, I could sit there and cry. I could watch movies, watch shows, talk to friends, and nothing would get the feeling out like dancing through it, like moving through it. And it was one of my friends, Jada Just, who in around 2019, 2021, we would I would work at this dance studio in Hollywood that had closed down already. But at the time that I was working there, my friend Jada, she noticed that I was going through a lot of hardship. And I kid you not, we would spend until like 2, 3 in the morning in the studio. And she's just helping me purge these emotions. I would dance. She goes, I see you have pain. Let me see it. Show me with your dance, not with your words. And I would show it. And she goes, I don't believe it. I don't see it. You think you're expressing, you're not. And in the frustration and the anger and feeling like I don't know what you're talking about. I've been dancing my whole life. I would. I would literally break open, and the true essence of who I was as a dancer would come through. And it was because my friend Jada pushed me, and it was learning from that from her. And that same time frame, 2019 to 2021, I learned how to meditate. I learned what breathwork was. And now that I knew how to dance, I integrated breathwork and meditation through dance. A lot of people don't know this, but before I dance or session or battle, I like to do breathwork. And sometimes as I dance, I actively practice breath work as I dance. I actively meditate as I dance because meditation is to meditate by definition in Sanskrit is to sit with. It's to sit still. And so to sit with something truly, to dance and think is not dancing. To just dance, to be so dance that even Eric is not present. It's just the embodiment of something beyond us.
Hmm.
That is what I did with meditation, and integrating that with dance is what has been the most healing, um, as well as just being surrounded by the community. No one talks about, yeah, dance is fun and it's cool, but what's really, really, really awesome is it's like being a part of a club. It's like being a biker, I guess. As soon as you have your most nice motorcycle, everybody else that has a nice motorcycle is like, hey, what kind of motorcycle you got? And it's very easy to talk to those people. Same thing with dance. It's like, oh, you're a dancer? What style? Like, and now everyone welcomes you. Sometimes you don't even have to introduce yourself. You can just dance and dance with someone, and that is your introduction. More intimate than words. And so I've always loved from dance how it brings people together. But the strongest essence I've ever felt that in that really made me fall in love was when I mentioned I started this dance crew, Outcasted Siblings, with Blue, Cicada, but his name was Beast at the time, Cub, and Snaps, and Happy Feet. We also had this guy named Pulse. I think his dance name is Anubis now. But at the time, we would all go to Wynwood, Miami Beach, and we would practice with a speaker, and the people that would come up to us, take videos, and just praise us and join us. It was like no one is here worrying about rent. No one is here thinking about their family problems. We're literally all just dancing right now. And we're doing it for hours on end. And it's so fun. It's so much fun that I literally forgot I was suffering. I literally stopped suffering because of how much fun I was having. And then this really profound thing would happen where we would still go to Wynwood years later, months later from street performing. We would have parents come up to us, hey, look, I've been seeing you guys street perform out here. Look, this is my kid. I want to show you something. Go ahead, show him. And they would, blah, 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 ever. And I'm like, no way. And the parents that would come up to us would say, look, they saw you dance street performing and they got inspired and they've been practicing ever since. And I was like,
So,
wow. So I just saw how much bigger than me dance was.
hmm.
And I know the depth to how much dance saved me. And dance right now is the reason I have all my friends. All my friends are dancers. All my friends are movers or artists. The 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 relationships that I've been in, it's incredible when you can dance and share, excuse me, when you can share this movement and this passion for movement with someone that you love. Now, maybe they're young versions of love because I'm still a growing adult. But for me, in those moments, being able to dance with a partner as a man too, being able to be the guy that has rhythm compared to most of the average guys don't have rhythm, that is just it's huge for confidence. It's huge for community. It's huge for another deeper investment besides just verbal exchange. And now, like, I listen to music the way that I breathe. If I lose my earphones, I'm like, oh my gosh, today's gonna be so boring because music is like the sound of how Earth celebrates. That is what music is to me, is the celebration of life itself. Um, and I've always been a music head. I've always gone from one style to another. I've always liked hip hop and rock music and pop music. One style I don't like is country. Sorry to all the country lovers out there, but I'm like, no, man. I'm sorry. All right, it's that's just not my thing. But with hip hop and dubstep music especially, because when I first started, it was dubstep music.
Yeah.
Man, those things to this day, those styles have a special place in my heart. And yeah, now I want to, with my dream, it's made such an impact on me. I know that with the story I've had and what I've overcome, there's some true gems. There's some true lessons of resilience and wisdom and being rooted in love, not going bitter, that dance has helped me maintain that I know I can share with people. There's another thing is like a lot of my family deals with a lot of obesity and health issues. One of the main reasons why I look as fit as I do is I've been dancing for years, man. And so seeing like around me, not just the emotional fulfillment and the community fulfillment, but health wise, I do not exercise and go to the gym as much as I should. And I know a lot of people say that, but like I truly can be very, very lazy, man. I get lazy. It hurts to lift weights. It does. What makes me want to lift the weights is knowing and having purpose behind it. Knowing the more that I lift that weight, the harder that pop is gonna be. Bam, you know. And so having that extra reason and just seeing how holistic dance is. Dance has not just been movement for me. It's been community, it's spirituality practice, it's connecting to myself, it's making sure my health is okay. All through there's one thing that we all still have yet to understand that is still developing. I think it's one of the most profound things in my life. And dance not only has saved my life, but it continues to save my life.
Mm.
Dance and music. Yeah. I
That's
also play an instrument. Um, I have a sound healing drum. I actually have one on me right now.
oh my
It's
God.
it's like one of these. This is a steel tongue drum, and when I was 23, I'm like, if I understand or learned an instrument, it would help me with my music more. So I started learning these. Yeah, and I would literally practice with my little instrument by myself, and now I'm finding deep meditative experiences with playing an instrument. And so not just listening to music and having a relationship with music as a recipient, but being a practitioner of music. Oh my gosh, it's just so fun and it's so cool the people you meet through art.
Mm.
Just yeah. Those
Yeah.
are that's like the root of who I am. I mean, Air, the nickname, because my name is Eric.
Yeah.
Um, I'm like, well, everybody's got a cool dance nickname. You got Happy Feet, you got Bling, you got Blue, you got Snaps, you got Intense, Rain, and then there's Eric. Like, dang, man. You got people like Showtime and Show Off and Rogue. Then there's Eric. That's what am I gonna do? What's Eric gonna do? And so I'm like, okay, Eric. What's a good nickname for Eric? You literally cannot say Eric without saying Air. Eric. Okay, how do I feel about Air? How could I add purpose to behind his name? So it's not just a name. Okay, Air. Air could kind of be an abbreviation, but for what? AIR. Oh, art in reality. I'm like an embodiment of art. Okay, I like that. Air. Air is gonna be art in reality, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be my thing. And that became my persona. So dance not only has dance been my community and spiritual practice and XYZ, but it has also literally become who I am. Most people don't call me Eric now. Most people just call me Air or some nickname. They'd be like, "What's up, Air? What's up, oxygen tank? What's up?" They'd be like, "What's up?" Like it's so funny, man. I love it so much. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh my God. Eric, that's it's incredible to like believe that you have been through like so many like really tough things to deal with in life, especially at such a young age. I was wondering like what has kept you motivated? Like, yes, I mean, dance has been there that, but even to find that like strength and to find that like willingness to say, I want to practice instead of dealing with this or crying or just staying here depressed, what has helped you like continue that motivation?
I'll be I'll be very, very real here. In order to be real, I'll go to a dark place. Um, I was suicidal a number of times in my life. I had suicidal ideation. And of course, the very thought of just not being sounded better than being with suffering. And to give you an idea of how messed up I was mentally and how messed up things were, there was a time right before our house got raided. I'm 15 again in the the trap house situation. There was a time that that stepdad I had, he brought out the sawed-off shotgun I had mentioned in the story, and he's arguing with my mom in the living room, and I just hear my mother saying, "You know what? Just end it. End our suffering. End this. I cannot stand this. I don't want to be here anymore." And I feeling very empty, just went and sat next to my mom. I didn't argue with them. I didn't say nothing. I'm like, if he's gonna end this, I need to go too. I don't want to stay here. And that was how willing I was to jump off the cliff. I'm like, this pain is so unbearable. I'd rather not. And it wasn't until after I graduated and now I had a power shift where I was the head of the household. Whenever I would have this suicidal ideation, whenever I would think that being here was better than not being, well, now if let's say I did do that and I did follow through, now my younger siblings have to not only shoulder the burden that I shouldered of how they're gonna figure out how to live, but they would also have to deal with their brother who passed away and took his own life. I could not accept that reality. I could not. And I think God gave me siblings because he knew if I was by myself, I'd be a lot more dangerous and more hurtful towards myself. But no matter what I would think, no matter how dark my mind would go, I'm like, you know how much energy it would take for me to take my own life, to plan it out, to have the conviction, to really follow through. It takes energy. It does. Whether it's easy or not is irrelevant. It costs energy. If I dare say I'm at the end of my rope and I have a little bit of energy, and with the little bit of energy I have, I would rather end my life, why not? This is what my brain did at 17. Why not use that remainder of that energy to try one more time, to try one more time, to show up for one more day? Oh, you have the energy to create this plan to follow through and get the rope and hang yourself, or to take the medicine pills, or to jump in front of a train or something. You have all those options. You have the energy to think about that, right? But you dare say that you're overwhelmed and that you can't handle it? Use that remaining energy. And if you were gonna give up and say F it and give up the game, if you were gonna quit the game either way, double down. Put all the chips forward. You're not gonna play anyways. You're gonna lose anyways. Put all the chips forward. Because worse than experiencing the life and giving up was the regret of not even trying. And so I'm like, all it literally was my negativity. I started flipping it on itself. And it's like, oh, well, if my brain works enough to create the story of negativity, why don't I just use this for positivity? The same way that I tell myself, I'm a loser, I'm not enough, my family will never change, I'll never be able to help them. That takes energy. Can't I find a way to use that energy and make it positive? And even though I graduated high school and didn't go to college, I knew I had to learn something, anything. I needed to keep learning or I'd lose. I would lose my sharpness, my drive. So I came across, I just started looking at TED Talks. TED Talks was what I knew was the most motivating thing. You watch a TED Talk and you're like, whoa, I gotta try new things. And so I would literally listen to a TED Talk every day at work. And on like my third one, I came across the name Tony Robbins. At age 17, in the midst of all this going on, my mom was in jail and all that, I came across Tony Robbins. And Tony Robbins was the first time I ever heard a voice say to me, even though it was electronic, the first time a voice, let alone a male, telling me, you can do it.
Mm,
You've got this.
mm,
Despite the BS you're going through, you've got this. You can do it. There's other people that have done it. You might feel like you can't. That's part of the journey.
Mm.
You've got this. You can become greater, smarter, wiser. Maybe your life does suck. Maybe you do have suffering, but you know what? Your life doesn't get better. You can get better.
Mm.
You can get stronger.
Mm.
You can get wiser. And I'm like, oh
Mm.
yeah, damn right I can. And feeling that motivation, I doubled down on my learning. And so I studied Tony Robbins. He has a lot of free content on YouTube. Tony
Yeah.
Robbins invented what he calls human needs psychology. When I learned human needs psychology, you cannot learn it without practicing it. You
Mm.
know, it's like learning about the Bible. You cannot really learn about the Bible or Christianity without getting down on your knees and praying one day,
Mm.
without talking to God one day. You're not really learning the thing unless you practice the thing. And
Mm.
so when I was learning about human needs, I was also practicing them. And as I learned about fulfillment, I began to see where I was falling short on
Mm.
myself and where my belief systems were limiting me. And he basically introduced to me the idea that the life that you have exists because you attracted it to you. Like,
Mm.
I didn't attract this to me. All of this junk, blah, 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 blah. He's like, you could feel that way. You 100% have the option to feel that way. And when you become more, watch how your life becomes more too. That is proof that the who you are attracts the life that you have. Straight
Mm.
up. You cannot change your life without changing you. And the way that he coins it is in order to change your reality, in order to change your personal reality, you have to change your personality. Cannot change your personality. And you cannot change your personal reality without changing your personality.
Mm.
How can you expect a very bright, successful, fulfilling future
Mm.
eating junk food, not exercising, entertaining negative thoughts, entertaining toxic relationship behaviors, diminishing your relationship with God? How could you ever be fulfilled when you are getting in your own way?
Mm.
It starts with you. And so when I took like the hardship of life and I stopped blaming, like, yes, everything I went through was not my fault. None of it was my fault. I was a kid. There's a lot of people that go through things that are not their fault, but it is my life. And although it's not my fault, it is my responsibility to do something about it.
Mm.
Someone comes into your house and starts a fire. Oh, I didn't start the fire. Cool. Great. That is a fact that you did not start it. The
Mm.
fire is still on, and that's your house, right? But if you don't get a fire extinguisher, if you don't do something,
Mm.
it's okay to feel the feelings and the XYZ and feel the initial blame. It's part of being human. That's what I experienced. And this was the self-talk I had. And at the end of the day, it's me that has to take responsibility. I don't have to. I could just let things be. How's that been? How's that going? And
Mm.
so taking responsibility of my life, knowing even though the mess was not mine that I caused, I did not cause this mess, but it will be me that fixes it.
Mm.
And that is where I found my empowerment.
Mm.
That no matter how down I get, living is not linear.
Mm.
Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're not. I went from taking care of my family, now they're helping me out. You
Mm.
know, I went from being able to pick up people up and take them from here to there to for sessions and stuff. Now I don't even have a car, and I have to rely on other people to pick me up and take me places and pay for my sessions and pay for my battle entry or to give me a guest spot in a class.
Mm.
The way that I've cared for people, now they care for me. And that I wouldn't have been able to even put myself in that position if I stayed in the dark, if I
Mm.
stayed by myself, and I've lost a lot. I've lost a ton. This whole time, I chased relationships. I don't like when you go through the things that I go through, you're not looking for a one night stand. I'm looking for someone that's gonna maintain a cool composure despite the BS. Because
Mm.
BS happens.
Mm.
There's still things like everyone at one day, everyone's gonna pass away. One
Mm.
day everyone's gonna die, bro.
Mm.
Our parents before us, if we're lucky.
Mm. Mhm.
To have a partner that only wants to be there through the good, I'm already past that as a young adult. I'm already past that. And so despite that, many people my age, they're not looking to settle down at 22, 23. I'm 26 now. Still getting married right now. starting a family right now, being committed right now, especially in Miami. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to be with Poppy number one, number two, number three. Like, let alone settle down. I don't want to be held down. Meanwhile, I think it's more valuable to have a deep relationship with one person than three shallow relationships. You know what I mean? That's how I see things. No, I'm not knocking on anybody that wants to explore themselves and have their joy. I think that's what life is about, finding your definition of joy. But I share this to say I still wanted relationships. I still had friends. I still had hobbies like basketball and football. And it's hard to play basketball and football and chase girls and be a dancer when you have all this stuff that you've gone through. It's very hard. I did it hard. I did it while it was difficult. I did it despite how difficult it was and how painful it was, and to me, it wasn't easy at all. It's not simple at all, but it was worth it. It was worth it. It might not be easy to continue on, you know, but I've always found that every time I do continue on, it's worth it.
And it gets better.
Yes.
Yes, it gets better, it gets harder, but it
Yes.
gets
Yes.
faster, stronger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
Um, Eric, if someone out there is going through it right now, like what would you want to tell? Like whether
Hmm.
it's something similar or maybe like completely
Yes.
like different, but at the same time they're going through it internally or maybe with their families or physically, emotionally, mentally.
Yes. I'll be very transparent. I've gone to some sessions, some battles, and I'm having an awful, awful day. I mean, like the parents argued at home or something, or my car broke down on the way, or I can't even afford my entry fee, so I had to ask three friends for $5, and just a bunch of stressful things that made me feel unworthy, unvaluable, unlovable. And in the middle of a session or a battle, I'll step out of the session and I go to the parking lot to breathe. And there you'll find at least three, four other people that are experiencing the same thing. And they all are going through things. I'm like, yeah, I went through my hardships, but I still have my family. Versus I have friends that I dance with, and I'm like, oh, they have the car, they have they have a nice life, they have a job and all that. And then I learn about them, and their dad passed away, their mom passed away. I had a friend who I hung out with one day. We had a pool party. The next day, her mother didn't wake up. She still dances to this day, and what I find inspiration from and what I tell myself, what would I tell someone that's going through something? I would tell them exactly what I tell me because I'm still going through something. I am not alone. And we tell ourselves part of the pain is the pain tells you it's that you're alone and you're all by yourself and everything sucks. That's the pain's job. Pain is not supposed to feel good. It's the pain's job. And these negative thoughts are a sign that you need to change. It's not a sign that you're wrong. The negativity, the negative thoughts, the toxic behavior is your soul screaming to you, this is where I want to change. When you feel lonely, that is your body telling you you need community. When you feel depressed and unfulfilled and without purpose, that is your soul telling you it's time to find purpose. It's time to find reasons to live. When you feel like you hate yourself and you're not confident, that is your body telling you we need to practice love more. So I would tell the person that is going through something to make sure that you get through it. The only way out is through. It's the only way. And when it comes to being an artist or being human is an art. Aside from dance, you never know what people are going through and what they've gone through. I look at people like you who I know have literally gone through a physical and and spiritual rebirth where you literally left us for a bit, but you came back and you could have been sour. You could have been, oh, F everybody. I don't like this planet. I don't like humans. I don't like the healthcare system. I don't like the I don't like anything. You could have done all that. You could have closed your heart and you didn't. And when I see you and I see you smiling and happy and pursuing your dream, I think, well, if that person is still going, I can too. I have to keep going. And just like I've mentioned, that energy that you might use or that we might use to beating ourselves down or to wanting to give up, if you're gonna give up anyways, if you're gonna use that energy for negativity anyways, why not use it for one more shot? Why not give it one more try to love? Why not try and keep your heart up open just for a little bit more? For the person that's really, really, really going through it. When I first got here, and my auntie didn't want to help me the way I helped her, and my cousin had just freshly passed, and I left my job, so I'm now unemployed, and I left my own place, so I don't have my own space now. When I was waking up every day, hating waking up more than I would go to sleep, because I would have nightmares too. The nightmare of waking up felt worse than the nightmare of going to sleep. What did I do? I would literally wake up and go, how can I make myself 1% happier today? That was too much. That was too much. Happy? Are you kidding me, Air? That's how I tell myself. Happy with all this going on? Absolutely not. All right. Eventually, I came across it. This is the answer I'll give to tell the person that's going really in it. When you wake up every day, how can you make the suffering 1% less? Sometimes it's less about adding the thing. It's not much as about getting the job and getting the partner that you always want, or getting the relationship with God and the spiritual awakening you're looking for, or winning the battle, or getting the job or the gig. It's less about that and about getting the thing. Most of the time, it's about you giving up the part of you that no longer serves you. And that is difficult to do all at once because it's part of you. So it's hard to do all at once. Chunk it 1%. I would wake up every day. How can I make today 1% less unbearable? You know what's easy? Go outside and breathe some fresh air. Straight up. The sun touching your skin will physically make you feel better. Inarguable. It's a scientific fact. Get your feet and plant them, literally touch grass, literally ground yourself barefoot on grass. Let the earth drain the electric energy from the metals in your body because we have aluminum and all these metals in our body. We have that. We have iron in our body. It's physically in there. It gets negatively charged with 4G and 5G and Wi-Fi and all this. Of course, you're stressed out. Your brain is powered by electricity. You have enough electricity to power a light bulb. Bro, you need to literally touch grass. It will drain the metals in your body of that angst chi, negative charge. Literally will drain your body of that energy. So literally, if you cannot find yourself to create sunshine, get rid of one cloud. Move one cloud out of the way. Just stop telling yourself you hate yourself as much. Just a little bit. You know, if you say, "Oh, I hate myself," switch that to, "I kind of don't like myself right now." That's a win. That's a dub. That is progress. That is straight up progress. You know, and over time, it took me a few months. It took me like 4 months, but I did it. I'd rather do something correct than do something fast. And so, over a few months, every single day, how can I wake up and suffer 1% less? 1% less. What does that mean like to me? All right, well, sometimes when I'm sad, I go 4 or 5 days without washing my hair. And not do that every 2, 3 days. Go wash your hair. Go treat yourself. Go serve yourself. Oh, I skip meals when I get sad. Da da da. All right. When you do get hungry, make sure you eat. Make sure it's a meal that you like. Make sure it's something that you're gonna find joy in. Oh, I have to wait until I get the job or the this or the that. Bro, if you have $2 and you want to go buy an ice cream, do that. Go spend time with you. I've noticed that while I'm taking care of everybody, some of the deepest sadness I felt was while Eric was there for his siblings and his mom and his grandma, that wasn't there for me. And you'll find that the depth of your sadness or depression is because you miss hanging out with you. As kids, we would play with sand castles. I used to make mud pies. I used to watch bugs. I did that with me. I say, Eric, look, 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 it's a bug. Oh my God. Look, it's an airplane. I literally would have fun with myself. Now we're adults, so we have to go get a job. We have to go do this. Like, spend time with you, literally hang out with you. Watch something that you enjoy, like as if you're a child. Your child is bugging you. Here's the show you like, and they're gonna, okay, bet they're gonna be same thing. When you're having a bad feeling, maybe you just need a nap. Maybe you need a meal. Maybe you need to stop stressing and start enjoying. The enjoying will make the stress more bearable. And if the enjoyment is not possible, make the stress less unbearable for you. Luckily for us, with our negative minds, we don't have to worry about what's wrong because your brain will tell you, I don't like this. There it is right there. I hate this about myself. What did you say? Let's fix that. Literally. The trash will tell you it needs to be taken out when it stinks. Straight up. That's the metaphor for your mind. And so that's what I would have to offer to that person. If you cannot practice gratitude and making your life more beautiful, find ways for things to feel less, 1% less like it's suffering. You do 1% less for 100 days, you're 100% less in pain. 100 days ain't a lot. We get like, oh, we don't even get 400 days in a year. We get like 365. That's not a lot. It's not much work. 1%. 1%. What else are you doing? Depressed and freaking out? Might as well put that energy to 1%.
Eric, you've had me like teary-eyed the whole time. Just so, no, I just love everything that you've been sharing and just how in depth, even though, it's like taking like this, the simple, like just look, at that 1% less, like look at yourself as a child, it's like not the hardest thing to do, but it does become the hardest thing. Exactly what you said, as we get more complicated in our minds. Eric, and all of that also reminded me as well of your dream. And, you know, as cliche as this is, everything happens for a reason. We transition and go through life and all of these chapters, to get to obviously the next chapter, the next book,
Yes.
of our lives. And I would love for you to share like your dream and like everything like that you're building.
So I did mention earlier the origin of my nickname Air.
Mhm.
Art in reality, the first dance nickname that I actually chose that I just started telling people, people started calling me Air, and I introduced myself as Air. Um, I decided, all right, with the things that I've gone through, all the pains I've gone through have led me to having to go to some sort of practice to bear it all. I came across meditation and breath work and practicing spirituality because of the pain that I went through. And to define spirituality, there's many definitions, but for me, I got this definition from Paul Chek. I mentioned his name earlier. He's my favorite holistic doctor. His definition of spirituality is anything that connects you to a greater whole. So if it could be your community, your family, the world, life itself, the universe, God, as long as you're connecting to something bigger than you, that is you practicing spirit. And so that is a huge part of my personality is how hippie I am. And the meditation and breath work that I've been doing since 2017. Specifically, I've been practicing Wim Hof breathing, and it has helped me a lot with overcoming a lot of challenges. One of those real life challenges that I will tie into my dream is my brother had COVID and we shared the same room, me and my brother Hector, that I mentioned in the stories. We shared the same room and he had COVID and he would mid conversation like this, go running to the bathroom to throw up, lost a sense of smell and taste, like it was really bad. I would do meditation and breath work and I would literally for hours chant to myself, I am strong, I am immovable, my health is unshakable. My whole household got COVID. And because I practiced Wim Hof breathing 3 times a day, I did not. I did not. And it wasn't because COVID wasn't real. I think it's very real. I saw my brother lose his sense of smell and taste and get sick. I just think that the mind is more powerful. The mind is the most powerful thing of all time. And as much as we can get sick, we can also remain healthy if we were to choose so. And so I, when I discovered that through breath work, I'm like, I missed the bullet. Like the bullets didn't hit me. The sickness bullets didn't hit me because I did breath work. That's awesome. I knew that there was a gift there that I want to share. And so, funny enough, breathwork being one of my favorite practices and my nickname being air, it's just such a funny combination. And I'm like, I like the mental associations with that. So Paul Chek, the holistic life coach I've brought up, or the holistic doctor I've brought up multiple times, he ended up becoming one of the main people that I listen to in terms of the podcast, reading books. He has this book I highly recommend to anybody. If anybody is struggling or wants to make their life better, I recommend this book by Paul Chek. It's Paulchek. And the book is How to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy. That book changed my life. In the very beginning of the book, Paul has you define your dream. He says you can have the workout programs, you can have the spiritual practices, you can do the communication classes to talk to your girlfriend or boyfriend or to try and fix your family, whatever. If you do not have a dream, goal, or objective to pull you forward, he says this, when you have a dream big enough, you do not need a crisis for change. But if you do not have a dream, you'll notice for the people out there that do not have a dream or mission or objective, when do you move? When do you get up and do something about your life? When tragedy hits. I wasn't doing nothing. I was chilling. Yeah, I'm coasting out of graduating high school. I have these recommendation letters and stuff, but I didn't apply right away. I was coasting. I was chilling. Tragedy happens. My mom goes to jail. Now I want to get up and go look for a job. Now I want to get up and do the things. I was not thinking about repairing my relationship with my family. I'm out living on my own. I have my own place, my own car. My cousin passes away. Now I want to come back into my family's life. Now I want to talk to them and try and fix things. And when you don't have a dream or an objective or a mission, you are prone to only moving when the pain teacher arrives. And the pain teacher arrives for all of us. When you don't eat healthy enough, the pain teacher arrives as a stomach ache or an ulcer or your appendix rupturing or some issue. And so when I had and developed that sort of thinking, I'm like, okay, with the nightmare of my life that I've come out of, I'm gonna need a really, really, really big dream. So my dream was, all right, I need something that's gonna be big enough to make me literally so excited that I get up out of bed. And there's nothing that I think about more when it comes to what problem could you solve in the world. I hear that a lot. Excuse me. When you go in business, you'll hear, find the problem, find an issue to solve, and you'll do great in business. All right, what issue can I solve? If I'm being real, I think the biggest challenges of all time in this realm, in this life we have, in this planet, our planet is dying. Straight up. Our planet is suffering. Straight up. That is sad. Our house is breaking apart on us, our home. No one's doing anything about it, or no one's doing enough about it, I should say. I, as big and bold as it is, I want to tackle that. I want to heal this planet. My dream is to be the world's greatest healer. And the way that I'm going to do that is using the elements water, earth, fire, air, and consciousness to flow from here to there, to ground here and now, to bring light to my darkness, to breathe through the steams of change, to create a space for others to do the same. That is my mission. That is the mission of Elemental. To put it in practical terms, using the elements water, earth, fire, and air, I want to help people align mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, also known as holistically. And so we see how the oceans are being polluted. Right now, for example, the oceans are so deeply polluted that our whales, our humpback whales, are not even singing anymore because when humpback whales are eating their krill, there's so much plastic that's filling their stomachs and they're dying. And so they're not getting enough nutrition. And so the whales have stopped singing to literally preserve energy from how hungry they are. We are starving the singers of the ocean. Our ocean is silent now. That is awful. So what I want to do is, for example, with Elemental, let's say that you are a DJ, for example. Let's say you and I collaborate, and I have you for a water themed session, and you put a playlist of anything that reminds you of water. If there's no wrong answer. If it reminds you of an ocean or a stream or rain, whatever it may be, bam, you have a whole playlist of that. And we have a session where we invite people. We say, hey, it's a water themed, a water reverence party, let's call it. We're gonna have a water reverence party where we celebrate the element of water. We teach people about water as they arrive. We tell people, hey, show up in your favorite shades of blue or anything related to water, you know. Um, and as they show up to the event, we educate them a little bit on water. Hey, this is why you shouldn't drink company water from companies like Dasani or anything that's like chemically infused as their water. Because if you didn't know, when you don't drink enough water every day, I think it's you have to drink half your body weight in fluid ounces if I remember correct. I got to do my math right. But if you don't drink enough water every day, like for me, the minimum I should be drinking is 4 to 5 bottles of water. If I don't do that minimum, my body physically cannot leave fight or flight. It's physically impossible. Physically impossible. And most people do not know how much water they should be drinking. Most people drink soda or coffee or those things and no water at all. And then they wonder why they're stressed or they're depressed or they're anxious. You're not. You're thirsty. So if we educate people on things like that, just educating someone is enough for them to go to the store and go, I remember Erik said Aquafina and Dasani has chemicals in it. So I'm gonna go for spring water instead.
Mm.
I remember Erik said, or Maria said right before the session, hey, it's better to drink out of a glass container than a plastic container. So I'm just gonna start doing that more. And I'm gonna start walking around with my own cup, even if it's a Stanley cup. I'm gonna start doing that more. And now we have one less human being walking around in fight or flight. You know what I mean? Okay, that's based off of the session event. It would also be really cool, really fun. Now that people are educated, now that people physically have experienced something related to water, maybe this is my bet. This is my mission. Maybe when those people go to the beach and they're eating and drinking at the beach, they're not going to throw their water bottle in the ocean. They're not going to throw their trash at the beach because they have formed a relationship with water. And whatever proceeds we would make from whatever event, whether it's a water event, earth, fire, or air, I want part of the proceeds for, let's say, our imaginary water event part of it would go to cleaning our oceans. To introduce into the marketplace, we can't just barter. You can't just buy oil and gas and that's it. Y'all are making a mess. You can't just make paper and cut down trees and that's it. Y'all are making an effing mess, not just for us, for future generations to come. Our coral reefs are at a point beyond return. We're already in a danger zone. 75% of flying insects are extinct. Like we are in the danger zone. Maybe if we start reintroducing that when I cook something, metaphorically, when I cook something, when I make something in business, I also have to clean up the kitchen. We can't just sell stuff and then keep throwing plastic garbage all in one spot and incinerating it and creating more global warming. We can't just invest into AI when AI is burning our water sources to the point of no return. We can't keep doing that and expecting a good, happy life. So the mission of Elemental is to, in a very fun way, anchor people to the elements water, earth, fire, and air. And each element is dedicated to a certain part of healing the planet. Water would be cleaning our oceans and also providing clean drinking water to places that don't have access. Earth would be to fighting deforestation, preserving natural indigenous areas and giving land back to the people it belonged to would be earth, as well as planting trees, as well as redirecting people towards good eating and not, oh gosh, don't even get me started on the food industry. But getting people right and at least knowledgeable. Fire would be fighting forest fires as well as combating global warming, which is very, very real. And then air would be air pollution and teaching people how to breathe. Most people don't even know how to breathe through their belly. They don't. They breathe in their chest, which also keeps you in fight or flight. If you are not taking deep belly breaths, you cannot escape the fight or flight system. You have to into the belly and out. Most people are constantly, especially with this vape endemic that's going on, vapes and even smoking. One of the main reasons why people are addicted to anything related to smoking is because the practice of it. When you smoke, you have to take a deep breath. Part of the most addictive parts of the thing is the breathing. Straight up. Like there's science behind it. So I genuinely want to use the elements to anchor people to them, to think and be more aware of the elements, have a relationship with them. I want to sell merchandise around it. I want to make my own food around it. I want to collaborate with other creatives. I want Elemental to get so big that it becomes beyond me. It's bigger than me. And I need a team and I need a community to uphold it to the point where if I'm lazy and I don't want to post or I don't want to produce the event, I have 7 people that, hey, aren't you having that event? Hey, aren't you doing this thing? And now Elemental is getting me out of bed. That is what I want for other people to experience. And I think that doing things in the dance community, because it's one of my strengths, would be cool, but I do not want to limit myself there. I want to work with photographers, videographers, yoga instructors, movers, physical Reiki healers, sound healers, DJs, event coordinators. I have a lot of experience in event coordination. I've hosted fashion shows, I've thrown concerts for Snoop Dogg. I've like had to manage teams. I've driven trucks. I've had to get chairs, tables, decorate, and perform at that event and take everything down. I have plenty of knowledge. What I don't have is the community to help me carry this dream. So that's what I'm trying to build right now, and that's what I'm looking forward to every day. Is how can I, as a man, build this dream. And yeah, I believe that the chokehold of every business falls down on the owner. And so the more I improve myself, the more Elemental improves. And so that's where I'm at right now, but that is my dream as well, and what I want to do with Elemental.
And that's amazing, beautiful, and just know we support you.
Thank
Like,
you.
like
Thank you very much.
100%. Yes, they're gonna obviously without the community, we wouldn't be anywhere. And so please, Eric, could you please share with us how can the community support you and connect with you?
Yes, for sure. So I am on social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Threads, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Facebook. Everywhere, my username handle is art of air underscore. Art of air underscore, because my nickname is Air. Um, for anything Elemental, I am still working on a lot of Elemental right now to support Elemental. I have a social media page on Instagram. It's called Planet Elemental underscore, Planet Elemental underscore once. Um, but I am working on building a website for it. I am working on extending onto different platforms. It's just so new. I've been working on it behind the scenes, researching and gathering things, researching in things like chakra, astrologies, um, physical science, health, just a bunch of ways to relate it. So I will have up a website that will relate to the name Elemental. Just don't have it yet because I don't know how to make a website. But we're learning. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna do the thing. We're going to do the thing. Yeah. But you can always reach out to me. I'm always looking to collaborate with anybody. It doesn't have to be for profit. If anything, I would rather do things for purpose and for service because when you serve, what goes around comes around. And when you give, the world will give to you. And I think there's nothing more valuable than delivering value to people at no cost. And so I want to be able to do that. And then, of course, build a repertoire, build a foundation so that I can have the finances to create bigger, more impactful missions and projects. But Elemental is not about making money, and we're about making an impact. So if you support that, anything Elemental will be Planet Elemental underscore, and anything to support Erik will be Art of Air underscore.
Oh, Eric, thank you so, so, so much. Like, this was amazing. All the knowledge you shared, like your stories, like beautifully packed, like what you said, with so many gems and just so much teaching. And loved like the person that you are, who you've become, and who you want to become, and what you want to do, and how much you want to impact. And it's truly inspiring and it's a gift. And so,
Thank you.
again, Eric, thank you so much for sharing with us. Super excited for anyone that gets to watch and listen and learn from you. And guys, please, please make sure you support Eric. Make sure you
Thank you.
follow him, follow his mission. And yes, guys, I mean, we're a community, so all about supporting each other. So again, thank you, thank you. It's been an
Yes.
honor, and it won't be the first or the last time that we see you.
Yeah, yeah. I also want to say thank you as well. Like giving people like me a platform, giving people like me an opportunity to speak and just share my story. I've shared my story a few times, but you never know, someone has never shared theirs before, and you might be the first person, let alone platform, to let them be seen and let them be heard. And being seen and heard is the first step to feeling less alone. So I am very, very grateful for the opportunity to connect with you. I look up to you a lot. You're one of the coolest, most awesome spiritual figures I've ever met because you've been able to create to a greater whole despite all you've gone through. And you are so awesome for that. I love being able to create with you, and anything that Can't Stop, Won't Stop has going on, I support 100%. I'm really looking forward to any events you guys got going on, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share my story. And yeah, to anybody that, found value in this or is going through a hard time, Maria and I support you. We are here for you. We are a community that will continue going to help support each other, lift each other up, and I'm very grateful to have met you. I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to have shared my story to the viewers out there. And yeah, yeah, really happy.
Yes, same. Again, thank you, Eric. And this won't be the last time. So